Thank you for joining us to learn more about the College of Nursing at the University of Manitoba. My name is Tyler Turman, and I am the coordinator and academic coach for PINE. So in today's session, we will be reviewing the requirements of the Bachelor of Nursing program, as well as within the pathway to Indigenous Nursing Education. We will also hear from a former student and her experience in the nursing program. So in the College of Nursing is located on the University of Manitoba's South Winnipeg campus within the Fort Garry community. The nursing skills and simulation courses take place in the Helen Glass Center for Nursing, which is the photo on the right. And some classes are held within that building as well, and in surrounding buildings on campus as well. As I mentioned, my name is Tyler Turman, and I'm the coordinator, PINE coordinator and academic coach. So in this role, I work with PINE team members, as well as nursing faculty and PINE course instructors to support students' academic success. I have been a nurse for 20 years and have had the opportunity to work in a variety of settings, all serving and working with First Nations communities. I have worked in nursing stations and community health centers, in federal government with communicable disease control, both provincially and nationally, and most recently working here in education in the College of Nursing. So why did I choose a career in nursing? So I'll just start by sharing a quote which resonates with my philosophy of nursing. So it says, nursing can be described as both an art and a science, a heart and a mind. At its heart lies a fundamental respect for human dignity and an intuition for a patient's needs. So in addition, this quote by Maya Angelou on the right-hand side says that they may forget your name, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So this speaks to why I went into nursing. I grew up in a small rural community about 3 hours north of Winnipeg, and we had nurses that would visit the community to provide immunizations and various healthcare services. They always made me feel comfortable, and they had such compassion and care for others, qualities that I really was inspired by. So this feeling was one that I wanted to give back to others, and one of the main reasons why I went into nursing as a profession. So earlier I shared a quote about nursing being an art and a science, which is foundational to all aspects of the profession. So nursing can be a very diverse career. As you saw in my own career path, I was able to practice in a variety of settings using different kinds of skills while also learning other skills. So no matter what area you are working in, you are often the advocate for your patients and their families. They value and care, they value the care and the compassion that you provide, and it is so rewarding in doing so. So let's take a closer look at some of those environments that may inspire your own nursing journey. So in looking at the hospital setting, there's a variety of different areas such as medical, surgical, pediatrics, which is looking after children, labor and delivery, psychiatry, emergency, and other specialties such as burn units or cardiac units. Within the outside the hospital, there's all their other units as well, such as public health, nursing stations, personal care homes, home care, and primary care as well. And some of the areas that we don't often think about, or not our first idea when we think of nursing, but there's nurses pretty much in most areas. So when there's nurses that work in government and in the military as well, you can be a nurse working with research and policy, and travel nursing. You can explore the world with your nursing background as well. And like I mentioned, I've went into education, and there's also nurse practitioners, which is a master's of nursing. So as a student in the College of Nursing, you will experience both theory and clinical practice beginning in that first year and the first term that you are admitted to the program. So we are a concept-based curriculum. So what you are learning in class each term, you will be practicing in the lab as well as in the clinical setting. You'll also be practicing your skills in the Nursing Skills Lab, as well as through simulation experiences in our state-of-the-art simulation center with mid and high fidelity mannequins. You will experience clinical placements in a variety of settings throughout your nursing journey, starting in your first term of the program. So this includes long-term care settings, subacute areas, medical surgical settings as well. And then in your fourth year, you may experience one of 4 settings involving labor and delivery, postpartum, mental health, or palliative care. And then you round out your clinical practice in a community setting. The final course is called your Nursing Senior Practicum. So this consists of 450 clinical hours. This is most often an area that interests you and where you hope to begin your nursing career in. During this time, you're paired with a buddy nurse and you work alongside them during their working hours. This is when you really start to feel like a nurse and you're ready to apply all the nursing knowledge you have gained along the way.
Great, thanks, Tyler. My name is Marla Robson. I'm Cree Anishinaabeg from here in Manitoba, and I work at the College of Nursing as a student advisor. So a lot of times we get asked is what a student advisor is, especially by our first year students or students that are coming into the program. So advisors really assist students as they enter university. So if you have questions about how to become a University of Manitoba student, you could definitely reach out to me. We also help students navigate academic options, and that can mean building an academic plan. And we also assist students in developing their skills and abilities. So that could be things that you could be doing outside of the classroom, extracurricular activities, or maybe volunteer experience, things like that. We also can connect you to academic resources, and there's definitely very many at the University of Manitoba. That could be workshops or seminars or that take place through the Academic Learning Center. We also have a lot of other student services on campus, and that's one of the things that I think first year students struggle with is knowing which office to go to for which sports. We can also link you to Indigenous programming. We do have some Indigenous programming that does take place right in the College of Nursing, but there may be other opportunities that you want to explore through the Indigenous Student Center or maybe through Ongomzoin Education, which is located on our Banatown campus downtown. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. My email is marla.robson@umanitoba.ca. So first off, the Bachelor of Nursing program is an advanced entry program. And this means that it has a very specific list of university level courses that are needed before you apply. So if you're coming right out of high school or upgrading at an adult learning center right now, you won't be able to apply to the Bachelor of Nursing program directly. Because the required course list is very specific, if you hold post-secondary credits, say for example from the University of Winnipeg or Red River College, please book an advising session with an advisor to review your previous coursework, just so that we can make sure that to see if you're eligible to apply. So for those students who may be coming out of high school right now, you may be applying to University of Manitoba to complete a pre-qualifying year. Then after you finish that year, that's actually the point in which you're going to be applying to the Bachelor of Nursing program and entering into the College of Nursing. The Bachelor of Nursing program from there will be where you're going to complete your second, third, and fourth year of the program. So the fastest that you can apply or graduate with a Bachelor of Nursing is going to be 4 years of university study. So how do you become a University of Manitoba student? There's always a path to becoming an official University of Manitoba student. And one of my jobs is really working with folks to find out what their pathway to post-secondary looks like. If you want to find more information, you can view our website and just search Apply UM. So there's 2 main types of applicants, direct entry and advanced entry. So direct entry is for grade 12 students who are about to graduate, high school graduates without any post-secondary education, or folks who have completed less than 24 credit hours of college or university. And 24 credit hours equals about a year of study. So for those folks, you can apply directly to the Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Science, or a program called University One. And I would say that the majority of direct entry students, our applicants, start in University One. University One includes a variety of different applicant categories: regular admission, limited admission, and a mature applicant category. And that last mature applicant category is really an entry route for those who didn't complete high school, have limited post-secondary education experience, and are aged 21 years and older. Advanced entry is for those who have more than 24 credit hours of college or university. And again, that's about 1 year of study. Those folks can choose to apply again to the Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Science, and many also explore applying to extended education general studies. So this is kind of like one of the things about where I can really be helpful. If you have questions about where you should be applying, definitely reach out to me and we can go over your education background. So when you go to apply UM, we break it down into 3 steps: explore, apply, and next steps. So this is what the website that I would suggest most folks start in, umanitoba.ca/explore. It's going to tell you a lot of information about applying to university. If you scroll down that page, you're actually going to see a yellow button that'll take you to some online information sessions. And there'll also be some PDFs that are available, including one PDF that's a view book that just goes over general information about the University of Manitoba, and another PDF that goes over admission requirements. And it looks like this. So these 2 resources are really good things for you to check out. But again, you can always reach out to me and I can help navigate these elements with you. Once you're ready to apply to UM, you definitely want to hit apply at the top of the page, which will take you to this page here, and you're going to be applying to undergraduate studies and get started on filling on online application. The application software looks like this, and you can fill out the information that's requested. And if you wanted to troubleshoot with me, we can book a session and we can do that together. So once you're admitted to University of Manitoba, what's the next steps? The majority of your time is going to be spent completing a pre-qualifying year or years. You're going to be completing required coursework that's needed to apply to the Bachelor of Nursing program during this time. So the majority of your time is going to be spent in science-based courses. So for every 5 courses you take, 3 are going to be science courses. So it's one of the reasons why our recommended high school prerequisites include biology 40S and math 40S, especially applied. Those 2 courses are really going to be helpful for you being successful in your first year. So the Bachelor of Nursing program has 3 core courses. They include anatomy of human body, physiology of the human body, and essentials of microbiology. In addition to that, we have more than half of your first year is going to be electives, and electives are courses of your own choosing. So we do have a requirement for science electives, which are science-based courses, and then we also have electives that are humanities and social science electives. And this is the science or study of how human beings interact with one another. There's lots of humanities and social science courses that are offered by the University of Manitoba in many different subject areas. Subject areas like Native Studies, Sociology, Psychology, Political Studies, Canadian Studies, Linguistics, American Sign Language, Theater, Film Studies, Women's and Gender Studies. So there's a lot to choose from. So Pine recommends specific courses for the students that are registered in their program, and Tyler's going to talk about that Pine program a little bit later. For the core courses, there's no way around it. You have to do them: anatomy, physiology, and both of those classes have a lab, as well as microbiology. For your science electives, Pine suggests that you complete Biology 1000, which is Foundations of Life, Biology 1010, which is Diversity Interactions, as well as a math course that's called Math and Art. For your humanities and social science electives, you may want to complete a course called Nursing 1500, which is a preparation for professional nursing education, and that's a Pine course. That's just for Pine students. We also have a suggestion maybe that some folks might want to take a Native Studies course. But again, there's a lot to choose from. So your pre-qualifying year, we kind of have it in quotations there because your course load is really personalized. At University of Manitoba, a year is considered 30 credit hours. But completing 30 credit hours would mean registering in 100% course load or taking 10 one-term courses during the fall and winter terms. So the example is like the table that's on the slide right now. This is a maximum course load, but it's not a requirement. Students might take 100% course load if they want to graduate in the minimum expected time of study. Students have a number of reasons why they might want to take a lighter course load, maybe to accommodate transition to university, accommodate to courses with labs, which is like adding an extra course. Or they may be balancing co-curricular involvement, volunteerism, sports, employment, or family or social commitments. Students who take a lighter course load may complete their qualifying year over 2 years. So their qualifying year may look like this. So it's really important to note that some scholarships, awards, sponsorship, Manitoba Student Aid, or other types of student funding may list minimum course requirements or course load requirements. So be sure to check the fine print of any funding you are securing to play for school. So providing nursing care will require knowledge as well as skills, both of which you'll build during the program. These are needed to assess clients and to plan, implement, and evaluate the necessary nursing skills. You're going to be completing those during your years 2 to 4 of the program. This requires another application process. So once you're ready to apply to the Bachelor of Nursing program, that's when you're actually going to be applying to the College of Nursing. There's multiple intakes per year. And we also do have a Canadian Indigenous category for applicants. It's designed to be taken as a full-time program. So I'll pass it back to Tyler. Thanks.
Thanks, Marla. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Pine now. So Mahkwa kiim is Pathway to Indigenous Nursing Education. So it's Pine for short. And this is a support pathway for First Nations, Inuit, and Métis students to complete their prerequisites to apply to nursing, as well as supporting them throughout the program. So we offer academic, personal, and cultural supports, and I'll just break that down a little bit. So for academic supports, we do offer smaller class sizes, and this includes Pine-specific sections for some of those courses. We also have tutoring supports that are available for most courses, as well as a Pine tutor facilitator, which we'll hear from Larissa shortly. And we have myself as an academic coach and Marla, student advisor, for guidance and support as well. For personal supports, this is referring to many resources on campus that we have connection to and referral to. So this is referring to counseling services available on campus, as well as financial guidance and support as needed. In terms of cultural supports, we have a knowledge keeper who leads weekly sharing circles, including traditional teachings. And there are also opportunities to attend cultural events and traditional ceremonies throughout the year. One other thing to note is that we do have a Pine Lounge that is available, a secure, safe place for students to hang out and to study in as well. So another area of support in Pine is the Nursing 1500 course, which is preparing for professional nursing education. This course provides a foundation for success in some key areas. And I'm one of the instructors of this course. And in the course, we talk about time management, scholarly writing, medication administration skills, medication math skills, discovering your professional nursing identity. And we talk about skills for studying scientific concepts, and academic learning strategies for success. And something that's very important is also self-care. So we have a lecture on, or a discussion on self-care and making sure that we care for ourselves in order to care for others. This course incorporates nursing content and nursing specific examples throughout the term. And it's as Marla mentioned, it's a Pine only course, and it's offered in the fall term, and it does count for 3 credits towards humanities or social science electives. And the goal of this course is to set you up for success in the nursing program. So this next image is, this shows the duration of the nursing program and how Pine is here to support you throughout your nursing journey, including those, the pre-nursing year or years, and as well as during those nursing, the years that you are in the nursing program. So I'd like to share a few quotes that students have shared with us over the years from their involvement with Pine. So the first one is from a pre-nursing student who said, or pre-nursing Pine student, who said that Pine is an amazing program that has helped me become the best student I can be. With smaller classes and one-on-one support, this past year I was able to achieve the highest marks I've ever received in school. I strongly believe that if it wasn't for Pine, I would have dropped out of university by now. They have given me the confidence I needed to continue my education. This next one is from a 3rd-year Indigenous nursing student who says that with whirlwinds of deadlines and course material, it is easy to become lost amongst the chaos. Pine has been an anchor in the storm, a way to return to my roots while being in a colonial institution. Pine made my roots stronger with every storm, and they empower me to reach to stars above. And the last one is another 3rd-year Indigenous nursing student who says that the Pine program has been a tremendous support throughout my journey to become a nurse. I relied on the guidance and support of my counselors, and I value that the most because they have supported me in a number of ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I'd now like to invite Larissa Garson to share her experience with you as a recent grad.
Hi, thank you, Tyla. Hi, my name is Larissa Garson. I'm a registered nurse, and I am from Northern Manitoba. My community, home community is Tatasquiac, Split Lake Cree Nation. It's about a couple hours north of Thompson, so it's pretty far up there. I'm an Indigenous nurse and also a researcher, and I work within the College of Nursing as a Pine facilitator. Part of my role as a Pine facilitator is that I'm helping students to gain access to a lot of those academic resources, some of the ones that Marla and Tyla had mentioned, helping them connect with tutoring, and then also helping with group kind of sessions to continue some of that small class feel that you have with the prerequisites that Pine offers in those smaller class sizes. I graduated in 2019 from the College of Nursing, and I was also a Pine student. It was formerly known as ANSI back then. During my time at the university, I was also the recipient of the Indigenous Award of Excellence for Community Building. Part of being part of Pine allowed me to really be able to give back and kind of put my efforts where I really thought were needed, and like where they were important to me. So I did a lot of kind of organizing of events, helping with Orange Shirt Day, just really getting involved with the Indigenous community and making sure that it was very inclusive. So that was one of the good experiences I definitely had while being in Pine, and that I don't think I would have had else if I had not been part of it. As a former Pine student, though, Pine has many supports, and I utilized a lot of them, specifically talking about the smaller class sizes for prerequisites. Because the prerequisites can be very heavy, especially anatomy and physiology, the smaller class sizes really did help to give me a really solid foundational base. So that way, entering into the faculty and having a complete change of the course workload and the amounts of material you're learning and the type of studying you're going to be doing, it really helped to give me a really good foundational base. And if you're not in Pine, the class sizes are going to be enormous. There can be from 60 to 120 students. So having those smaller class sizes that Pine offers as an additional support to help Pine students is really helpful, because you have a very small class sizes. They're very intimate. You get to know the professor who's helping to teach you, and you get to make a lot of friends and connections that you wouldn't otherwise necessarily have with the greater kind of class sizes. So it was really beneficial in having a strong base, building friends in that community, even before you enter into the faculty. A lot of the people that I did meet in my prerequisites, we maintained friendships and were friends throughout the program, and they end up becoming my support system. It was so important once you're in nursing to have a sense of community, and it can kind of feel daunting when you're in these bigger class sizes. So having your close friends and peers that you can know have similar backgrounds to you, similar cultural values, it really does help in being able to go through a very tough and difficult program. And nursing can be very stressful. So having those supports, they're going to be part of your self-care team. They're really going to be helpful to you. And then Pine also offers, as Tyler and Marla had mentioned, there's a lot of cultural supports and academic supports. Being able to talk to Tyler and to Marla and knowing that they know who you are, and you're not just a number within the faculty, it means the world when you need to bounce ideas off someone, or when you're uncertain of your path in nursing. And if you just have general questions and concerns, they're a great opportunity to be able to get to know them, and know that when you're communicating with them, they're going to be communicating with you with empathy and understanding based on their role and who they are as people within the Pine program. They also are cultural support. So having an elder or knowledge keeper being able to speak to them when you run into difficult things as well is such a big help. And having that connection to be able to, whether you're new to the community or you want to find out more, there's a lot of cultural events and sharing circles that allow you to kind of build on that. And that was really helpful for me, as well as being able to give back to my cultural history and my family, and then also being able to build that within the faculty. And Pine definitely had helped with that. Another reason why I chose nursing may be different from some is because I had some family and personal healthcare interactions and experiences that hadn't always been the best. So becoming a nurse for me was being able to give back first to my community and to my family, and being an advocate. That was a big thing for me, was being able to be an advocate by knowing that healthcare side, by being part of the healthcare team, by understanding what's going on and how things are supposed to be happening with healthcare interactions and how you're supposed to be treating patients. And so it was it's been an eye-opening experience being on the other side, but it's definitely benefited me. And I'm so happy that I did choose nursing, because it's such a rewarding career. And now I'm part of Pine, being able to give back how I said I wanted to while I was in nursing myself. The Nursing 1500 course that Pine does offer, which is a prerequisite before you get into the faculty, that was such a big support, because the learning once you get into the faculty is very different. You're not just memorizing things. You're not just regurgitating a lot of the information. The learning and the style of testing is very different. So having that Nursing 1500 course that Tyler is an instructor for definitely helps to ease you into this change. Otherwise, it can be quite abrupt, and it can be very difficult if you're haven't had any university experience, or just the amount of course load. And like that student had quote said, there's a whirlwind of timelines. So having that Nursing 1500 course as a prereq really did help in kind of my adjustment into the faculty, getting used to the amount of course work we were going to do, changing my testing strategies from just memorizing things to critically thinking and being able to apply what we're learning to case scenarios and to case studies. So definitely was a big help and a big support in my success throughout the Faculty of Nursing. But if you have any questions about the nursing experience, or what you may feel or see going through the faculty in terms of prerequisites, or once you're in the faculty, please feel free to shoot me an email at larissagarson at umanitoba.ca. But that's all I have to say for today. So thank you.
Great, thanks, Larissa. So I'll just wrap up a little bit here with some closing and reminder remarks. So you are going to be managing dual applications if you're applying to the University of Manitoba, as well as the pathway to Indigenous Nursing Education. So applying to become a University of Manitoba student or official University of Manitoba student is kind of a four-step process. You're going to submit an online application and pay a fee that costs $100. You'll submit required documentation, including your high school transcripts or post-secondary education transcripts if you attended college or university. You'll receive an admission decision through your online application portal. You'll accept that admission decision, and then you'll move on to next steps, which includes, registering for courses. When you apply to become a Pathway to Indigenous Nursing Education member student or PINE student, you're going to be submitting a paper application and required documentation all at once. This is a free application. You'll go through an interview process that'll take place during the months of May and June. And then we'll receive admission or application decision during the month of July. And we also have a mandatory orientation that takes place in August. So kind of going over timelines here, fall applicants, if you're applying University of Manitoba as a direct entry student, you'll be applying to University 1. The application deadline is August 1st. If you are applying to an advanced entry program, you may apply to the Faculty of Arts or Faculty of Science by June 1st, or Extended Education General Studies by August 1st. These are all absolute deadlines. We really suggest that you apply to the University of Manitoba as soon as you can. The earlier you apply, it's really to your benefit as far as course registration. You also apply to the PINE program, and our application deadline is May 1st annually. And just a reminder, you will apply to the nursing or programs after completing your qualifying year. So, that might be sometime maybe in the next year. So thank you for attending. We really appreciate you taking time to listen to our video. If you do have any kind of questions for us at all, you can reach us at our email addresses, which are on the page. You can also find more information at the College of Nursing webpage, which is umanitoba.ca/nursing. Gretchen, thanks for your time.